All right. So, well, of course, first of all, congratulations on closing your first deal. There is something, well, there is a couple things very special about this deal. One of those is that it took you guys only 1 day since the lead came in to put the property under contract. This is crazy. So tell me about it.
Yeah. So one of the main things here, I think, and it was a deal breaker, is that or deal maker basically, it is that I speak Spanish, and the person needed someone that speaks Spanish. So when I contact her, uh first of all, I saw the name, but yeah, but still, there are so many times that I see Latin names and I ask them, "Do you speak Spanish?" Either they don't want to speak Spanish, or or they don't speak Spanish, actually. They just have a Spanish background, right? So
True.
I'm very careful with that at the beginning, in the US. And but I asked her, "Do you speak Spanish? Is it good Spanish?" And she was, it was like a relief to her, right? Yeah, that makes things very, definitely easier for me, and and I think for her as well, right? So she was very motivated. She's moving out. She wants to move out of town. I offered her to help her find another place where she want to move. I started some conversation there, just asking her about where does she want to move, where, if she already has, something set up for that, blah blah blah. Ask her about the town, because I know, and I go back and forth to Houston, but I don't know about Odessa. No, Odessa is the name of the town that
Uh-huh.
the deal is in. So she, she clarifies some stuff from the town, which is interesting, because I learned that it's an oil and gas town. People, a lot of oil and gas industries operating there in this town, and a lot of workers from those industries wanting to rent properties there. So it might be a good deal for that. Uh, I don't wanna deviate my attention. It will be a great deal to keep it for myself, actually, but I just wanna pass it on and wholesale it. And so I'm going to do the disposition, started the disposition process right now, as soon as possible. I was actually preparing the packet already. But it seems like an interesting town to have some investment property there to rent, to even by the room, to this man that are working in the oil and gas facilities around the area. So basically, as I said, Daniel, the language was definitely a lot of help for this. She even asked me, "Max, if we sign a contract." So when I told her, "Hey, this is the price," I just needed to actually drop some 5K from her asking price, because her asking price was on point, was there. So it was a
All
very,
right.
very, very, very good asking price, actually. And when she told me, "Yeah, you know what, I signed the contract, but I just want to deal with you. So I just want to talk to you, because you know I feel comfortable. You speak in Spanish. I don't want anyone else to call it." Okay, perfect, let's do that. I'll be taking care of you, no problem. And yeah, I will guide you through the process. And basically that's it. It's a 55K closing. She was asking 60. I don't remember if she was asking 60,000, 60,000, since the I mean, on the form she filled out.
Oh,
Probably not. I discovered that probably on the call. I did discover that on the call. Yeah, it was not on the form.
I
So
got it.
I think so. So yeah, she told me 60, and I was looking at the comps. There are not a lot of comps in the area, but just with that experience, trying to make some assumptions there. And 60K seems like a good deal. So just wanted to drop it a little bit and work it out to 55. And yeah, deal closed. She signed yesterday evening. And yeah, man, that's great. I mean, we're moving now. So Spanish helps, especially in this
Definitely.
house.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was the other detail that like something special that I wanted to point out about that deal. And kind of highlight the fact that how a second language opens a number of opportunities. Sometimes, people might get discouraged about, working on a deal that speaks a different language because it will not be that comfortable for them. But definitely having an open mind, towards those scenarios, and maybe, of course, not many people is bilingual. Not many of our clients are bilingual, but they can get additional help from someone, even ourselves. You know that most of our CSM teams are, Spanish speaking people, right? So we can sometimes eventually jump in and help them to have that conversations with them, or they can find additional resources. But definitely, being open to, to get additional help on a second language definitely opens up probably an infinite number of opportunities towards the business. This is great, Max. Congratulations. Let me ask you, what was the motivation for her to sell the property?
Moving out of town. She didn't wanted to put any money on any renovations. She said, I'm done. I want to move out, and I don't want to do anything with the house. I mean, I don't have the resources now. I'm actually looking for a job because she was um I think she was laid out from a job. And she told me she was looking for a job, even though she's thinking on moving out of town anytime soon. So yeah, that was her motivation, basically moving out of town, having a fresh start somewhere else, and not having, the financial resources to actually do any type of work to the property. And with that said, she was actually, um I mean, she know about the condition of the property. She told me from the start it's not in a good condition. It needs some work, and probably that made her call that fair price, actually, for, because most of the times you need to negotiate on the price. And
Definitely.
at this time, by looking at potential ARVs, or even potential ARVs for reselling the property as a fix and flip, or even keeping it up as a rental. um I mean, it makes total sense, that price. So I just wanted to, drop it a little bit, just to negotiate a little bit, and that's it. What I did, I told her, you know what, if you want 60K, you will need to pay commissions to a realtor. That will bring you up down to almost 55. So let's close it on 55, and you don't need to do any of that. You don't need to pay commissions, closing costs, and we bring it down to that price, because I mean, there's a lot of work to be done there as well. So yeah, that's it, man. Motivation was moving out, moving out of town.
Great. Great, definitely. And you're removing a lot of pain in the sense that by dropping the price, but removing, the responsibility of closing costs and all that, of course, you're helping her a lot and making her more happy, right?
Right.
So that's great, man. Let me ask you. So this was a straight cash offer, right?
It is a cash. Yeah, I don't think it was any room for anything else. She needed the money to actually move forward with her new life. So there was no room for other thing, and the property is distressed. Her situation is distressed. So it was definitely a cash offer. Um, and yeah, yeah.
Perfect. So do you think, or do you calculate additional expenses now that, on renovations and repairs?
Oh, for sure. Someone,
Mhm.
anyone that wants to get into the property, I will say will needs to invest. It depends on what type of project wants to do, right? If it is, but I've saw the projects around that area, and they're not like very like anything close to luxury or mid luxury or anything like that. They're very simple type of projects which make things very I mean much less expensive.
Mhm.
Me being in Texas doing jobs already, I know the labor is less expensive there as well. So I've done fix and flips on the East Coast and in Texas, and Texas is definitely cheaper, right?
Right.
Uh, so it's definitely gonna be cheaper to do something, and I will take a wild guess of somewhere around 30K, probably 35, something like that, to leave it, ready to rent to someone else at a good rate, or even resell it, probably a little bit more if you want to resell it, a little bit more maybe. You need to change the roof. And good thing about the property, I think it's gonna be a deal breaker for, I mean, a deal maker for me to actually dispo, is that it was a duplex before. She transformed it. Yeah, it was a two one on each unit. She transformed it to a single family unit a long time ago because of the big family she had. Her kids are already out of the house. They live somewhere else. So it's a potential duplex for any other investor that wants to get in, and retransform the property to a duplex again. And so that'll make total sense to a buyer.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. That sounds great. Let me ask you, oh, Max. So, of course, everything happened over the phone, right? But let me ask you, did you have someone maybe, visiting the property, getting to view the property condition, or it was just through pictures and all that?
Not yet, not yet. I don't like to do that before signing an agreement, a contract. So,
Hmm.
but she did send me some pictures. Yeah, I asked her
All
some
right.
some pictures, and she did send some pictures through email. So, I did saw some of the condition on the inside because there were no pictures on the internet, anywhere. But yeah, that was a good thing, and I saw that before signing the contract, so that I just can confirm what I was thinking about the property because of what she has said. And yeah, she sent, yeah, I got some pictures there.
That sounds perfect. Um, Let me ask you, that, like, it doesn't matter how much or how many years do we have, experience in the business. There is always room for improvement and for, acquiring more knowledge.
For sure.
Was there something in this deal that you maybe learned that you could apply in future deals?
Well, let me tell you, it's the first deal I do in Spanish. It's
That's great,
definitely
man.
it's definitely easier. I mean,
Yeah,
it's my first language, so it's definitely easier to speak on my first language. I think I have a word, facility, but I mean, like easy of speaking, but um, but in Spanish is better. So that made the difference on this case. It was I feel very comfortable with, by doing this in Spanish and making her actually feel comfortable, you know, with the language. So um what I could learn, man, just try to be natural on the conversation, not be robotic. Just try to find the pain points of the person just by talking and listening, and shut up and listen to what they have to say, not interrupting. And that's valuable information so that you can make a case and see what could be better to do there. But definitely, uh with time and practice, everything becomes easier, definitely on this part.
That is for sure. Great, great. Actually, I'm not sure, but probably this is one of the first deals that one of our clients have completed in Spanish from the beginning to the end. So this is great. This is also, let's say, like an achievement for the agency as well. So this is great. This is great, Max. We're really happy for you. Let
Happy
me
for
ask
that.
you, according to your calculations, how much more or less will be your ROI of this deal?
um I think this will be an assignment of no less than 10K. uh
Mhm.
could be a little bit more, I think. I'm aiming for more and on the dispo side, but let's see, there's always, you always need to leave rooms for negotiation with the end buyers. So of course, I set up a higher price, suggested price, and then we start from there going down. And they're always going to ask for less. And but I think it's gonna be somewhere around 10 to 15K assignment, probably, hopefully.
That sounds great. That sounds
According to my according
really
to my numbers, if a flipper wants to get in and do the job, and he buys the property from me on a 20K assignment fee, he could still make a good 45 to 50K profit. The flipper, I mean, if it is a
right.
fixed. So a 40 to 50K profit on a $200,000 property ARV, it's a pretty good profit. It's a very, very good profit. And I believe the timeline will not be that long. Texas is easy with that. And I guess that town will be very, very easy with permits and all that. If needed, sometimes you don't even need it. And so I will definitely say there's room for a 50K profit for a flipper. And with that price point on the selling part, that's great. I mean, 50K profit for a flipper for a 70K acquisition property somewhere, I mean, and selling at 200K, that's very good. 200, 220K. I think that's a good
Definitely.
profit. So that's why I believe it was I just reverse engineer the numbers, and I think it's a good deal. But let's see, man.
Absolutely.
Market, it's market says everything. So
It,
market's
it,
gonna have the
indeed.
final word.
That is true. Well, the way I see it, like, during their first month with Hesel Media, which is actually not even a month yet,
No,
and
yeah.
you already recoup the money that you invested on Hesel Media, meaning that next deals are going to be only profit for you. So this is great. I mean, the way I see it, right? Of course,
Right.
you might see things a little bit different, but a 15,000 deal on your first month, it's already covering what you invested on Hesel. So this is amazing. Let me ask you, talking about Hesel, what do you think about our service, Max and Francis?
I'm happy, man. I'm doing great. As I told you, we got a good first wave. I was expecting somewhere around 5 leads per week, basically, according to what we speak. So when I felt like things were getting slow, I contacted you. Action was taken quickly. Saw a new inflow of leads that time. So it's good. I think Frances, correct me if I'm wrong, she's been communicating with uh,
Christine.
Christine. Yeah, with Christine for some CRM integrations and some CRM stuff that I don't know anything about, but Frances handles that very well. And yeah, that's how she created, Frances created the new pipeline, that because we are also wanting to, as I mentioned to you, we don't feel comfortable just waiting for the leads to come in. We want to be proactive as well and try to generate some other opportunities on our end. And that's how Francis got to communicate with Christine. And I don't know, Francis, how was it?
It's good. I mean, the automations were not really simple, especially we're trying to make it not really complicated. We're trying to make it really, really precise. We had a lot of stages. We want to follow up on leads, not just one time. Want to like to follow up with them, like say after 2 days. We like have a particular time frame. So it was kind of hard to set up the automation, but Christine was able to help me. And recently, I was having problems with the automation because instead of the opportunities moving to stages by the call outcome that I put in, they were not being moved. And Christine was able to help me. She communicated with the support. And, since we don't have a support access, but they do have, she immediately helped me and was able to set up the automation. And on our different concerns as well, she was very responsive. So we had a concern about the address not appearing on the conversation part of the CRM. And she told me that she'll get an update from the developer, which is waiting still. But I'm really happy that she's very proactive and she's really helpful when it comes to following up on these things.
Oh, absolutely. She is great. She is super like speed to action. Actually, I always highlight like that ability, that ability she has to really go and to take actions real quick, so we don't have to wait for long or anything like that. She's amazing. So I'm glad that you're highlighting this in this opportunity what Christine does, because yeah, definitely she's great. Let me ask you guys, would you recommend our service to other real estate entrepreneurs?
Well, yes, Daniel. Daniel. I mean, so far so good. Definitely getting one deal in 2 weeks. It's definitely great knowing that this doesn't come from uh night to day. It requires some time, and we'll definitely do. I mean, we're brand new, just starting, just 2 weeks and a half on the program, since our campaign launched, but so far so good, man. And I mean, hopefully results are improving and getting even better and better with the pass of time.
Perfect, man. I'm happy for you guys. Is there any other potential deals right now in the pipeline? What's cooking in Max Escobar's pipeline?
Well, yeah, there could be. I mean, there's a new lead that came in yesterday. We couldn't speak because he was driving. He told me he was going to call back. It was late night though, so I'm following up with him today. He's in Memphis. It could be a potential deal there. Then there's another one in Texas as well, close to Dallas, but that's different. That's the total opposite to the one in the Spanish deal, because
Yeah.
this is lady from Thailand. Uh,
Oh,
she told me she's elderly, and I cannot understand. Probably I understand like 50% of what she says. So
all right.
so because of the accent, right? And I don't know how I'm gonna make this work. It's gonna be, but it could be a potential deal. I mean, she's interested in selling, and um, I think it could be an ovation, that type of deal, because it's a house it's well maintained,
All
located in
right.
a
That
good.
sounds great.
So
Yeah,
let's
it's
see.
crazy, like how language barrier can change like
Yeah,
everything, right?
it
So,
can.
my recommendation at this point, Max, since you're having a hard time to kind of understand their full message, it will be like invite her on Zoom and you activate the closed caption, the subtitles.
Mm.
So it will make it a little bit easier for you to understand the full message, and of course transmit more properly your own message as well. I don't know, that might work.
That might work. Might work. Hopefully,
Definitely.
hopefully, she's been an elder person, she might know how to do that. But yeah, let's see, man. I mean, I still need to work it out, and see how can we make that work.
for sure. I'm pretty sure that you'll figure out. All right, right, guys. Thank you very much for sharing. This is amazing. I'm really glad for you, Max and Francis. Of course, we want to see more deals coming. Let them rain, right? So, well, let's work
Yeah.
on it. Do you guys have any questions before we go?
Now I have a technical question on my CRM, but I will address that with Christina. I will tell and Francis. So
All right.
it's a small thing. So yeah, that's it, man. All good. Yeah, I don't know you about you, Francis.
I'm good.
All right.
Perfect, you guys. So I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for sharing the details. Congratulations again, Max. We're really happy for you. And just remember to help us out with that nice Google and Trustpilot review. I truly appreciate that.
We'll do, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah, have
you.
a great day, you guys. You're
You too.
welcome. Bye now.
Bye bye.